Hello and happy Monday morning to all of you. I am here with the beautiful Lil Barcaski. Lil, how are you doing today?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect.
Yay, I had this funny headset on.
It's all right. We can hear you. It doesn't matter what you look like. You're a master coach working with authors. So we're going to be talking all about how people can become an author in only 90 days. I know you have a new program. Every one of us have a story inside of us or information or knowledge that we really need to get out in a book. And I say that because books inspire other people, right? They motivate, they educate. Why did you start doing this so that you could assist other people to get out there and really share their message and what they need to say?
I always say that I have the dream job I never knew I wanted. so, and I say this all the time. I don't think when you're in high school or even in college, you wake up one morning and say, you know what I want to be? I want to be a publisher or even a ghostwriter. Now I'm a publisher, and it's wonderful. And I get to, we have created through our compilation books easily 200 best-selling authors, which is amazing. And the books themselves, people with individual books. It's the greatest thing you could think of to have somebody say, I'm a published author and I'm a best-selling author on Amazon, or we have so many accolades, and people coming to us and thanking us for the way their businesses bloom because of what they're doing, or the speaking careers. And it's just, I don't know, I can think of anything better to do than this. It's more fun than barrel monkeys.
Yeah.
I'm showing my age.
Fun. And, when I produced my first book way back in like 2020, I had just come off of a book launch in St. Louis when I flew back, and then the country shut down that weekend. Like we barely got it launched. And it was a compilation book that I had done. And I learned so much from doing that compilation book my first time around. Not only did I get the guidance on how to write, but it was so amazing for me to share my story and see it in print. Like to see it in print. That's crazy. And so talk to me about what authors go through in the process of, I know there's a discovery piece that they go through in writing this story. What is that like? Because you do ghostwriting too, and not a lot of people know what ghostwriting is.
Well, yeah, a lot of books you see people's names, especially famous people, they probably didn't really write the book, or but when we ghostwrite, we work with the individual working on their subject. They know their subject. They just aren't writers. They don't have the time or the skill set to make what they want to say sound the way it should sound in a book. Right. So we interview them step by step, one chapter at a time usually, let them talk it through, ask them one of the biggest compliments I ever get is people say that I always ask the questions no one else thinks to ask. And especially with memoirs, like I ask the hard questions because I'm a little autistic. I don't know what it is. My dad was. It could be that. Maybe it's just because I'm from Jersey. But I don't have a problem asking you something that somebody else might not have the guts to ask you, and get you to answer it. And man, people cry, and especially with memoir. But I think the process really is just outlining, making that outline where you want to go with it, and then working through it step by step. That's kind of our general process with ghostwriting. We all go through what we call the dark night of the soul. We think here's the steps. Wow, this is really good. I'm a really good writer. I walk away. I come back 2 days later. This sucks. I'm terrible. This is the worst thing anyone's ever written. I walk away. I come back a week later. Hey, this is pretty good. So that step in the middle, we call the dark night of the soul. And even when we do compilation books, we meet with all the authors and get them to do that. Then we sit with them in groups, small groups, sometimes one-on-one when they need us, and we make them feel comfortable, make them know that what they're writing is important. And it always is. We have some amazing books coming out this month. Just amazing.
Tell me what you've got coming out. Can you share what books are
coming out? Absolutely. No Problem Parenting is coming out. This launches the 20th, so please get your free copy on Amazon and help us make Amazon bestsellers out of everyone.
That's your client.
She's excited. Best. I love her. Right. She's already getting people lined up to do the second book. She's got so many authors in the sphere. Everyone has kids, pretty much. Even if it's not the kid you made, it's a kid you didn't make and you live with or you help with or whatever. I have an adopted daughter, 29 years old. She's amazing. But so we all have that. So that's a great book. So that's the 20th. On the 1st, we have a book called Making Waves, which is about how the ripples we make in the world can affect everyone. I think it's 16 or 18 authors in that one that are all talking about their entrepreneurial journey and how what they did creates, ripples along the way, and how you can do it yourself. And then very powerful book coming out, Victim to Victory, which
Mhm.
is a group of people around 16 or 18 again, authors that are telling very difficult stories and sharing that. I just wrote the back cover copy for that today. So that's going to be something that's also coming out October 1st. Well, those are all coming out. And then individual books too. We've got a book by Marcella Hills coming out called, oh gosh, now it's going to go out of my head. Wake Her Up, it's called. That's
Oh,
really good.
nice.
Yeah, it's a really cool book.
Yeah.
Her individual stories about the things that have happened in her life. She's quite the speaker. She's a paid speaker. She's a brilliant woman. So that's coming out soon. Just a bunch of other things coming out. Well, we're busy.
Yeah,
Happy to be so.
I go back to my philosophy of visibility, right? The be seen, be heard, be visible mentality. You're either the world's best kept secret and no one knows about you, or you're out there and you're telling everyone about you. And how many of you out there today have found out about somebody because you were recommended a book about them, and then you read the book, and then you followed them on social media, and then maybe you did a program with them or whatever it may be, right? That's how I found out about Jen Sincero. It's how I found out about Marie Farleo. All these people now that I follow and do so much more with, that I was just introduced to their books to start with, because I didn't know who they were. But once I read their book, it was like, oh, now I really have a sense of who this person is. There's so many different types of books that we can write, and it doesn't have to be a memoir or a biography, right? It can be a fictional story that you write, or it can be like a self-help type of business book where you're given directions. There's all these different types of books. How would you recommend people get started? I know you have a program coming up that people can join in on, and it's scary sometimes to think like, I'm not a good writer, how am I going to write a book, right? That was what I thought when I was first asked to do it.
Well, yes. So two ways that we really help people a great deal. One is the compilation books. Hey Taxi that you partner with. The
Yeah.
Jill and Dawn have a terrific book that has room in it still, if anybody would like, and it includes a summit. It's a fantastic price to write. I think 2,000 words on the entrepreneur's toolkit. So this is going to be really like questions and answers and your ability to give people something. I love workbooks. We do a lot of workbooks, and that's an easy way to get started. I'm trying to get mine out. I have one on myself on basic entrepreneurship. That's like, it's only 15,000 words, but there's a lot of questions and things, and that gives people a reason to reach out to you and work with you later, because I do teach entrepreneurship as well. I love to work with very new entrepreneurs. With the great resignation happening, there's a lot of people who need you, who want to talk to you about whatever you're doing, how to get them to do it too, and get them on board, because they're leaving jobs like nursing and teaching, etc., and they want to start a career. So if you've got something you can teach them with a workbook, you can write 15, 20,000 words tops, and ask them questions, give them exercises, make them come back to you and say, oh, I learned all this, how, help me. So all you coaches, if you do not have a workbook, call me tomorrow, because we need to get you a workbook. And they're so easy to write. They're really quick. You know the questions to ask. So that's one way. Obviously, the compilation books is another way. And getting a coach like myself, or like Pam, who's going to be working with me. Pam Wilson and I are going to be doing from pen to published in
Mhm.
99 days. And it is 99 days because I thought it sounded good. It's got a nice ring. But basically,
So they
we're going
get
to
a
be
bonus 9 days.
bonus 9 days. So the idea is that we will be meeting, and we're getting some people already very interested in signing up, and I'll have a bonus for you today if you're interested. Um, they'll meet with us for a little meet and greet on a Thursday night, and then Friday and Saturday, November 4th and 5th, I think it is, they'll be with us all day long. And we're only looking for about 10 people on this, so it's a
Yeah.
small group. And you're going to be meeting with us in person, on Zoom rather, but into small groups, the whole group, one-on-one with us during the course of the weekend. So you'll get to outline your book, you'll have your full outline, and we want you to write your first chapter in that 2 days, so that you have a really good idea of how to write that chapter, right? How long it should be, your intro, your first chapter, something like that, or maybe even more if you get more done. Then, over the next 90 days, Pam and I are each going to meet with each person individually for 1 hour each month. So they're getting 2 1 hour with us, very big value. And every week we're going to have a group meeting. So you can come and go as you please to the group meeting and just experience what you're going through and having, getting help from each other. There'll be a Facebook group, of course. We're going to jump in and do some lives and some coaching and some stuff like that. And they can talk to each other and build each other up. And as we continue to do this program, we're going to leave that Facebook group grow. So you'd be in that in perpetuity. You can stay in that group as you learn and you grow. So between the beginning there, that conference, that 2-day conference, which is going to be fun and valuable and a lot of cool stuff, with all the coaching, by the end, you'll have met with your designers, you'll have your book cover done, and your book will be fully published by the end of the thing. Now, if you fall behind, we'll work with you to get it done, but the goal is to get done. One of the problems I find is a lot of writers, they get nervous, again, dark night of the soul. They get to the end and they're like, oh, I have a fiction writer, 10 years been working on this book. I've rewritten the whole book, and she's still making changes, and I'm trying to get her to understand. You have to let the book go. Let it go. It's like a stew. Just after a while, too much salt, you put too much stuff in. Just do it. Right? So we want you to do it. We want you to be done in the 99 days. So you can say, hey, my book is done, and I'm on to the next thing. So if you stay with the program, we'll have your cover done, everything's done, your book will be available. And here's a fun thing that happens when you're an author. When you Google your name and the title of your book, it shows up in a Google search everywhere. You're like, oh, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Kmart, look at me, I'm everywhere. And it's such a cool feeling, like to know that you're on Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble's real quick. They come up real fast, so that's exciting. I'm a big Barnes & Noble fan. So, that's a fun thing. Like you're going to see that right away. So if you do this, now the program is $3,997, $39.97. But if you're listening today, if you're a LEAP member, if you're a Hey Taxi member, we're taking $500 discount for you guys. So it's $34.97 for you guys. And if you want to work with a partner, I know you and Jay Reed were talking about writing a book, Colleen. So like if you have two people who want to write together, we're happy to have both of you come to the seminar for one price, as long as you're writing together. You're going to have to figure out the coaching part, but that's fine. So if you're working with a small group, 1 or 2 people are writing together, one price. We're happy to have you. Just come as a group. We're writing one book, though, so not two. But that's that. And if you're a coach, guys, and you have a client, really needs to do this, we are offering you a referral fee of the $500, or you can tell your client they can have the $500 discount. Totally up to you guys how you want to deal with that. So we only have, like I said, maximum 12 people is all I feel we can do with this on Zoom. Eventually, we're going to do it live, I hope. Pam and I would like to do this around the country in different places, maybe a couple times a year. So that'll be fun. She's in St. Louis, so I wouldn't mind to go there and do that. I'm in Florida.
That's how I met Pam, was through my very first book, and brought her into the community. And we've known each other since my very first book, The Anatomy of Accomplishment, that I did. She was one of the editors. And,
great editor.
I know. It was just amazing to get to know someone, and she loves the community. She's been in the community ever since like I said, 2019 when I met her, 2020, and she's phenomenal. And then to meet someone like you, Lil, and then you take 2 power people and you guys partner up on being able to do this journey together to assist more people to get their book published. I mean, 99 days to publish a book seems unheard of from pen to public, right? But it's possible.
Very much so.
It's possible with the right guidance.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to be there with you every step of the way. What we're primarily looking for is people who want to tell their business success stories. I like to call them business memoirs, right? Because boring business stories with just technique and things like that, they can be all right. But you want to inspire people. You want to tell them how you succeeded. I'm going to eventually put together my own compilation book about the failures we go through. We're working on that for maybe next year, where we're going to ask the people who'd like to join us on that journey. Because I think the things we fail at, I always like to say, one of my many Lillisms is, the best things that happen to us are the worst things that happen to us, or the worst things that happen to us are the best things that happen to us. So so tell those kinds of stories. Like, this is how I learned. This is how if you're doing a memoir, it might take you a little longer than the 99 days. But remember, a memoir is not your whole biography. That's a biography. A memoir is a piece of your life. Someday I'm going to write the memoir of the couple of years I spent at the Trump Plaza as the banquet manager. Because there's some stories there. That was a fun time on Atlantic City Boardwalk, back in the 90s, right? So showing my age. But, those are that's a memoir. So if you got something like that, you want to tell like this thing that happened to you and it was so interesting, and we can get that memoir done in 99 days too.
Yeah. So if you're looking to write another book, if you're looking to write your first book, if you want to just connect with Lil, I mean, you can connect with her on LinkedIn pretty easy and go to Lil Barcaski and connect with her there or book a call with her. We have all the information for you in the comment section and get on the phone with her to find out if this is the right opportunity for you. And she'll apply that discount for you. But, no one's coming to save you. No one's coming to write your book for you. No one's just going to pull it out of you if you don't take the first step. You have to take the first step and say, hey, I want to do this. I want to be a publisher. And let me tell you, having a book has gotten me so much more exposure. At this last event I was at last Saturday here in Arizona, it was an empowerment event that Crystal Richardson put on. And we all got to sign our books, take pictures with people that are buying our books. And I felt like a celebrity. And now, way more like 20, 40 books of mine are in the hands of other people right now that they weren't in the hands of those people, 4 days ago. And now they are. Think about that. That's huge.
Speakers and coaches, you've got to have a book. Just
Yeah.
do a workbook with us. In 99 days, we can have it be painless to do that
Yeah.
in 99 days. Absolutely painless. We really love that. And yeah, I'd love to talk to people. Anything else you want to talk about? You want to know something about publishing? There's no obligation. There's no cost. I'll spend a half an hour with any of you that want to just discuss what this is about and how we do things and just want to learn what we do.
It's great, Lil. Well, thank you for being here today on our Member Monday Spotlight. We love having you as a member of the Leap community. You're so brilliant, wicked smart when it comes to publishing. I'm super excited to publish another book with you in the future. And thank you so much for being here, Lil. You're amazing.
Oh, thank you. You guys are all amazing. The whole lot of you. Had such a good time with you guys and the Hey Taxi ladies. So
Yeah.
thank you for inviting me.
All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. Get out there and crush it. Talk to you later. Bye.